Hey y'all, and welcome to the first episode of PodMasters, which is where we talk all things Skylanders. Now, today I thought of a really good topic to discuss because I've started to notice it within, and most people have in the Skylander community, on Reddit and eBay and Mercari, and I think it's really interesting development that I feel like definitely a lot of people have noticed. So I'm gonna discuss this right now. And if you'd like me to talk about any other things, then just leave a comment, please. All right, thank you. So what I wanted to discuss today was that if you've been in like the Scanner community for the past 5 years, at least, then you would have noticed that Drobo is by far the most expensive Skylander. If you don't know who Drobo is, then Drobo was basically the last Skylander ever released. He was released in 2017. And by then, most people weren't buying Skylanders. They moved on to other games, probably Fortnite and stuff like that. And, they weren't thinking about Skylanders. So, not many people bought him, which a few years later led to him being super expensive. And he's still worth like $400, $500, I think. Recently, in like the past, I think, year now, Green Chompy Mage, which is another sensei from Skylanders Imagineers, the last game in the series, has begun to go super expensive. I think he's worth like almost like 900. It's crazy, but most people, the sword guy came out of nowhere. I came out of nowhere for me. So I wanted to discuss how this sort of kind of happened and also why he's worth this much. First of all, about Green Chompy Mage as a character, he, from what I've learned, came only in like a triple pack. If you know what a triple pack is, it's him and two other Skylanders, or at that point, six. So, most people, you couldn't get him individually, which is interesting. He never released an individual pack. So, you could buy him, but with the other two ones, so, his demand was a lot lower. So also, he never released in stores. He was actually an exclusive on Amazon. So, if you were buying Skylanders at the time or just know Skylander history, primarily Skylanders was sold in stores like Toys R Us, Target, Walmart, all the things. That's how people now play as the holiday variant of Green Chompy Mage, Jingle Bell Chompy Mage, which is a lot less expensive because he released in stores individually. Now, the thing is, with him being a triple pack on Amazon and people being like, I don't want to buy that, whatever, it's just Chompy Mage. And like Amazon, so it was like, I mean, Amazon a few years ago wasn't as big as it is now, still pretty big, but not quite as big. So people were not buying it, nearly as much. And now, I guess years later, people have, thought about it, I guess. Well, I don't have Chompy Mage, Chompy Mage must have been a sensei. We Jingle Bell Chompy Mage, but where's the regular Chompy Mage? And then people realized that there were not that many sellers for Green Chompy Mage, which drove up sellers' prices by a lot because they realized that, hey, a lot of people want Chompy Mage. I mean, he's a very iconic character. He was in Skylanders Giants. If you played Giants, he was also in the Skylanders series. Probably more people played Giants than watched the series, but still an honorable mention. So, people are like, oh, where's Chompy Mage? And, not that many people bought him because he was just in a random pack. And, not even sold stores and just triple pack and sold solely. So, drew up the prices. Drobo is a sensei, but he's not like an iconic character. Like, Wolfgang, Dreamcatcher, all these people, like Golden Queen, they're all iconic characters from the Skylander series. But Drobo, he was just another sensei. So, while he's still expensive from the last Skylander, Green Chompy Mage is like Chompy Mage. She's from the boss fight from Giants, and he's like this famous character. And, the fact that there's not that many of him, and considering he's so iconic, just drew the prices up. And it, felt like less and less people had him. So, eventually it passed Drobo. And, which I thought was crazy considering of how fast it happened this year or even last year. And I feel like a lot of people on Reddit noticed that. And definitely, because, like, I mean, I think he is the first Skylander to be like going for like over $1,000 and being actually worth it. Because I know that there are so many people on eBay that will sell like a freaking trigger happy for $75, which is ridiculous. Because like it won't be worth one. But it's just crazy to me how expensive these calendars have gone from 2015 and even below that. And that's what I wanted to talk about on Podmasters today. So, if you want to hear any other things from me, just shoot me a comment. Thank you.